I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. And in case you haven't heard, we are transitioning off of our partner broadcast stations with City and G4 Canada at the end of the year. So if you like what we do and you want to support us, please go to our YouTube page, like, and subscribe to our content. That's at youtube.com/EPNTV. Now here's your rundown. The 6th Annual Canadian Videogame Awards, hosted by the EP team, honoring the very best in Canadian-made games, recently took place in Toronto. Ubisoft Quebec's Assassin's Creed Syndicate was the biggest winner, taking home 5 awards, including Game of the Year. The Fans' Choice Award for the best Canadian-made game, voted by you, was the indie title N++ from Toronto-based MetaNet Software, with Vancouver's Clay Entertainment taking home 3 wins for Don't Starve and Invisible, Inc. Here to help me discuss the 6th Annual Canadian Video Game Awards is my pal and yours, Jose Don Fubar Sanchez. Did you have a good time, buddy?
I had a great time. It was my first time at the Canadian Video Game Awards. Yes. You guys never invited me before.
We made
Finally,
you an honorary Canadian for the CVAs this year.
I got to become a Canadian. I got to experience the Canadian Video Game Awards. And you know, there's tons of award shows out there that promote so many other video games are out there. But it's good to see the Canadian crowd and the Canadian developers and how excited they are when their games get announced and when their games win.
That was the idea from the beginning. Full disclosure, I'm the co-founder of the awards, and I, sort of proposed the idea to put the spotlight on these guys, these teams that, make some of the best stuff in the world, but most of the folks in the world don't really understand how much stuff gets made out of this country. A little too much focus on Assassin's Creed Syndicate this year.
I mean, and it's the newest of all the titles that were on the list of a lot of these games. So, I mean, but obviously it's the newest, it's the greatest, man. That's what people remember. Even when we do the Game of the Years outside of just the Canadian Video Game Awards, it's usually the games that come out later in the year that get all the recognition. And the same goes for the CVAs. Yeah,
definitely. And, it is still the big budget games pitted against some of the indie stuff out there. It's interesting to see companies like Clay and MetaNet sort of, percolate to the top. I think that's great. We need more of that. And, I really want to challenge the other Canadian developers out there to really come at Ubisoft, because they always have this
throwing down the gauntlet.
They always have so many people up on stage during these events picking up awards for multiple titles, and I would love to see, more games, AAA or not, kind of come at and challenge some of these top dogs, And that's not taking anything away from Ubisoft games. They're great.
Well, and it's tough because when you have multiple Assassin's Creed games on the list, that's how they do it. Yeah. They're like, if we keep putting out Assassin's Creed games in a year with different teams, we've got a chance of winning these awards.
And Far Cry is so awesome as well. Far Cry 4 was in there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a very cool night. And one of the great things about it is we got to kind of celebrate our 25 seasons on television, and we got to meet people that were out there to meet us and to watch us do the hosting and stuff, and and Scott and Marissa and Steve Tilley and Sophia Tong joined us up on stage. It was a really fun night.
I mean, it's always a really fun night.
Yeah.
We get to hang out together. I mean, I think it's really nice about the CVAs is that you actually give awards to everybody. You guys don't just, it's not just the winners. That's not polite.
That's not yours, buddy. No, you don't get to keep that award.
So I'll just take their word for them, and maybe they'll see it. Maybe they won't.
Right now, we've got to go to probably an award winner from Marissa Roberto. Here's Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. The Rundown is brought to you by EB Games.